I need to get this health video about my health re-recorded and out because it's stopped. Anyway, all right. So this is for anyone who suffers from chronic health and issues. Sorry, chronic health issues. Hopefully, we all suffer from chronic health one day. But anyway, all right. So the problem with when you have an invisible chronic health condition is that it's a constant battle of whether it's real or not, okay? And so for the person suffering, someone who hasn't suffered from a chronic illness might not understand. So for the person who's suffering, the ultimatum they are facing is either they keep treating and looking after themselves and believing that they have it and trying to heal themselves, or they take a risk, and because the only way to know if it's in your head or not is trial and error, all right? But the problem with that kind of trial and error is that if you decide to force yourself into believing that it's in your head and you do and you're wrong, like, you die, okay? So that can you see why the people who are suffering aren't willing to investigate if it's in their head or not? All right. So with that being said, and all right, I'm just going to run through a quick list of ailments that I have suffered throughout my life, just to give you an idea of, like, that I know what I'm talking about, because, like, and I'll talk about that in a sec, but besides that, at the moment, like, I am very, very healthy. And so up until July even maybe after July this year, my list was, okay, chronic inflammatory response syndrome. I'll go into that in a sec. Morgellons, and apologies, I'm fairly certain it's actually pronounced Morgellons, but I only ever read the word. Like, so it's coded in my brain as Morgellons. So if it drives you nuts, I apologise, but that's how it will come out. All right. ADHD, celiac, periodic limb movement disorder, anxiety and depression, fructose malabsorption, arthritis. I've got a bone cyst in my wrist that eventually the bone is going to collapse. And then so the rest are more, nasal polyps, lung masses, dental issues, burnt out esophagus, intestinal stomachal issues. I'm postmenopausal. I was at the age of 37, I don't know, something stupid. Vertigo, migraines, brain fog, skin, like, parasites, face issues, cortisol levels. Anyway, lots. Okay, stupid. Like, I should have been dead 100,000 times over, right? Which obviously is part of why I realised it was all an illusion, because it didn't make sense that I was still alive, okay? So, the point of this video is for anyone who is still stuck on the timelines of chronic health issues, especially invisible ones like Morgellons, gallons, CIRS, stuff like that. I'm not saying just, like, stop treating it, but this video is just to show you that the minute I realised the only reason I had those illnesses was because I believed I had them. Like, so, and I don't have proof for what I'm about to say, but this is the best way that I conceptualized it, right? So the physical symptoms, like the things that came out of my body were not okay, all right? And all sorts of, like, just, it was not okay. And people who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. And if you don't try and make it make sense, all right? But, now I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, okay. This might be a bit sporadic, but whatever. I've only got 5 minutes left. So it might spin you out, some of you out when I say this, but like I have evidence of nanotech in my body. I have evidence of Morgellons. I have evidence of the mold. Like I have evidence of everything. And the only reason I still keep that evidence is for the people suffering from it, because in order to be able to free yourself from this timeline is for you to realize that you are actually suffering from it, and the world we're in at the moment will not provide that for you, okay? And so that's why we go. So I have evidence to help you realize that you're not crazy, all right? The reason I'm not using that evidence to take down the people responsible is because at the end of the day, no one is responsible, all right? And if I was to go and prove to the world that what I had suffered was real, all I am doing is pulling pieces of false timelines into our real timeline and cementing it in for us, okay? And the goal here isn't to fucking find the bad guy, I promise you. The goal is to just get rid of the bullshit so we can start being our fucking better selves that we are, alright? So, let me just quickly, hang on, I'm going to pause and I'll check my notes. Alright, so basically I just wanted to, like, I am proof that you can think yourself healthy, alright? Because our bodies, I'll explain all that another day, but I need you to understand. Oh, that's what I was saying before about, alright, so, alright, my head here, and I'll try and go in a bit like that, but anyone watching my videos, like, sequentially, if that's the right word, will see it growing. And so if I was still stuck on the Morgellons timeline, I could explain that exactly what that is. Some form of, anyway, nanotech, synthetic parasites, whatever. My point is, because I broke through that illusion in that timeline, what was once a nanotech or a whatever has returned to its original state of just empty plasma, alright? So what you're doing when you are feeding into believing you have an illness is you are coding your thoughts are your DNA, right? So by thinking you have more gallons, you are literally, as that plasma is being formed, it's being coded with the instructions to become that illness, all right? So this is, and I've still got stuff coming out of my what do they call, eustachian tubes? They were bad, and that stuff is clearing out now still, but I'm pretty much just down to, I guess, what I call empty plasma now, all right? So I promise you, it is mind over matter, and it's not like 2 years ago, if someone had have said to me, it's all in you, basically something, I would have been like, punched them out or something. But my point is, I promise you, I am proof that I was the guinea pig. I got to a point where the idea of my illness killing me was my fucking ticket out of here, because I didn't, you know what I mean? Okay, so I was willing to risk it and trial and error the idea that maybe it was all in my head. And guess what? It was all in my head. I love you all. Think yourself healthy. You can do it.